Hello and thanks for joining us. Welcome to Standard Voice Television Global News. Today, 14th July 2026, equivalent to 28 Muharram 1448 after Hijrah. I am Rahama Ibrahim Dosara. The headlines. President Tinubu says late Buhari's legacy of integrity service will motivate generations. Court of Appeal upholds judgment restraining INEC from recognizing MARC-led ADC congresses. Troops of Operation Enduring Peace arrest arms trafficking syndicates, recovers rifle in Kaduna. And on international scene, U.S. military threatens to resume Iran port blockade Tuesday. And on sports updates, Super Eagles winger loud Chile contract extension as Falcons arrive camp ahead of WAFCON. This and more will be coming to you in the bulletin. Stand by. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says the legacy of former President Muhammadu Buhari, marked by integrity, discipline, and selfless service to Nigeria, will continue to inspire generations. The Nigerian leader, who was represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima at the first anniversary memorial of late Buhari in Abuja, described him as a patriot who dedicated his life to Nigeria's progress, saying his values of integrity, discipline, and service would continue to inspire the country. Tinubu noted that Buhari retained Nigerians' respect even after leaving office, urging citizens to uphold the values he represented. On his part, former head of state General Yakubu Gowon said his relationship with late Buhari dated back to their days in the military, described him as a gallant soldier and a leader committed to Nigeria's unity. He noted that Buhari's political journey was strengthened by his alliance with President Bola Tinubu, which eventually led to his emergence as president in 2015. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has flagged off the construction of the access road from Tunga Madaki to the Abuja-Kaduna road by Zuba, describing the project as part of a growing network of roads opening up satellite communities in the Federal Capital Territory FCT to the city center. Tinubu, who was represented by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, explained that the project was a direct continuation of the Bill Clinton Drive to Tunga Madaki Community Road commissioned weeks earlier as part of activities marking the third anniversary of the Renewed Hope administration. He said Tunga Madaki, Zuba, and the communities along the corridor are home to farmers, traders, students and families who deserve the same dignity of access as those in the city center, noting that poor road access had 4 years cut off movements during the rains and caused farmers to lose product before it reached markets. Earlier, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, said the project fulfilled the federal government's promise that all communities and area councils. He also recalled that the initiative followed a request from the area council chairman. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has upheld a federal high court verdict restraining the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, from recognizing or participating in the state's congresses conducted by committees appointed by David MARC-led caretaker leadership of the African Democratic Congress, ADC. In a 2-1 majority decision, the appellate court dismissed the appeal, affirming the April 29 judgment of Justice Joyce Abdul Malik, which barred the caretaker leadership from interfering with the tenure and functions of the party's elected state executive committees. The presiding judge, Justice Okon Abang, while delivering the late judgment, held that there was no basis to set aside the lower court's decision, strengthened that the authority to conduct state congresses rests with elected state executive committees and not a caretaker national leadership. Justice Donatus Okorowo concurred with the lead judgment, while the presiding justice of the panel, Justice Abba Muhammad, dissented. The federal government has banned the new regulatory measures for digital platforms and online intermediaries until a unified regulatory framework is in place. The Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, who disclosed this, said regulatory coordination is essential for legal clarity, investment and consumer trust. He added that his ministry wants to maintain the status quo while a harmonized national policy is being developed. This is coming after a strategic meeting between the ministry and key stakeholders, including the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC), the National Information Technology Development Agency (NITDA), and the Nigerian Data Protection Commission (NDPC). Tijani explained that a joint technical coordination committee will be established, comprising representatives from the NCC, NITDA, NDPC, and they will serve under the minister's guidance, fostering technical discussions and engaging with stakeholders across industry, civil society, and academia. The federal government is planning to train over 70,000 youths in market-relevant vocational and technical skills under the Innovation, Development, and Effectiveness in the Acquisition of Skills, Ideas, Technical and Vocational Education and Training (TVET) initiative. The National Project Coordinator of the IDEAS project, Blessing Ogu, made this known during the opening of a 3-day capacity building workshop for key staff of the IDEAS, TVET initiative and training service providers (CSPs) from northern Nigeria in Abuja. She explained that the project had recorded remarkable growth since its pilot phase, which engaged 11 training service providers and graduated 1,050 trainees. Ogu stressed that following the pilots, the initiative expanded with 90 TSPs producing about 14,000 graduates in one phase, while another cohort involving 217 TSPs graduated over 22,000 trainees. This news is coming to you on Standard Voice Television and still to come in the news. Troops of Operation Enduring Peace arrests arms trafficking syndicates, recovers rifle in Kaduna. And on international scene, U.S. military threatens to resume Iran port blockade Tuesday. And on sports updates, Super Eagles winger allowed Chile contract extension as Falcons arrive camp ahead of WAFCON. This and more will be coming to you after the break.
Good day, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ezekiel Damfulani. I'm the Managing Director of the Nigerian Agricultural Insurance Corporation, NAIC. It is my pleasure to introduce NAIC, Nigeria's foremost agricultural insurance institution, established to provide insurance protection and risk management solutions for farmers, agribusinesses, and agricultural investments across the country. At NAIC, our mission is to safeguard farmers against losses arising from natural disasters, adverse weather conditions, pests, diseases, and other unforeseen risks that threaten agricultural productivity. By providing reliable insurance coverage, we help farmers recover from losses, improve access to finance, and contribute to national and food security and economic growth. In line with renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, we are committed to strengthening NAIC's capacity by expanding insurance coverage, embracing technology and innovation, and ensuring that more farmers and agricultural stakeholders across Nigeria benefit from our services. Agriculture remains the backbone of our economy, and insurance is the critical tool for protecting investments, enhancing productivity, and promoting sustainable growth in the sector. Through strategic partnership, improved service delivery, and digital transformation, NAIC will continue to support farmers and contribute to Nigerian food security and economic development. Together, we can build a more resilient agricultural sector and secure the future of farming in Nigeria. Thank you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Welcome back, and now the news continues. Troops of Sector 7 Operation Enduring Peace have arrested a suspected arms trafficking syndicate in Kaduna State, recovering 3 locally fabricated AK-47 rifles and 4 submachine guns concealed in a vehicle. The Nigerian Army disclosed this in a statement shared on its official social media pages, saying the intelligence-led operation was carried out in the early hours of Monday at the Samaru checkpoint in Zangon Kataf local government area of Kaduna State. The statement added that the operation followed credible intelligence regarding the movements of illicit arms from Jos, Plateau State to Niger State. According to the Army, troops intercepted a car during a targeted stop-and-search operation, leading to the discovery of the weapons hidden inside the vehicle. The Army said one suspect attempted to flee during the operation but was shot while trying to escape. The statement added that preliminary investigations indicated the weapons were allegedly supplied by two suspected arms dealers based in Jos and were being transported to an intended recipient in Niger State. Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State has appealed to the United Nations and international human rights organizations to conduct an independent investigation into the kidnapping of school children and teachers in Owerri local government area of the state. Makinde, who made the call while receiving the rescued victims at his office in Ibadan, described the circumstances surrounding the abduction as sufficiently grave and unusual to warrant scrutiny beyond domestic institutions. He stressed that the request was not meant to undermine local institutions, but to reinforce public confidence and ensure accountability. The Oyo State government, however, pledged continued support for enhanced security around schools and communities to prevent a recurrence of such incidents. The pupils and teachers were rescued after 56 days in captivity through a joint operation by the Nigerian Army, police, and intelligence from the Departments of the State Services (DSS). The federal government has developed a set of standard operating procedures to guide the implementation of its disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration program as part of efforts to support Nigeria's response to terrorism, violent extremism, and other forms of armed conflict. The federal government has developed a set of standard operating procedures to guide the implementation of its disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration program as part of efforts to support Nigeria's response to terrorism, violent extremism, and other forms of armed conflict. The national coordinator of the National Counter-Terrorism Center, Office of the National Security Advisor, Major General Adamu Laka, made this known in Abuja at the National Validation Workshop on the Standard Operating Procedures for DDR at the federal level and in the pilot states of Kaduna, Katsina, and Zamfara states. He noted that the procedures were designed to translate the strategic objectives of the National Disarmament Program framework into practical guidance for implementing institutions, while ensuring transparency, accountability, and coordination. Laka also emphasized that disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration remained a critical component of Nigeria's non-kinetic strategy for addressing insecurity. Also speaking, the Director of Preventing and Countering Violent Extremism at the Counter said the procedures were developed to provide a coordinated national response to the growing threat of terrorism, violent extremism, banditry, and other forms of armed violence. And in international news, the United States has threatened to begin enforcing its renewed blockade on Iran's ports on Tuesday. U.S. Central Command, in a statement, confirmed that its forces will resume blockading maritime traffic entering and exiting Iranian ports today, July 14th. Meanwhile, the Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi mocked U.S. President Donald Trump over his threat to impose heavy charges on all cargo shipped through the Strait of Hormuz, saying Iran would charge a lower rate. Also, Tehran's top diplomat wrote in a social media post, Iran has always been the guardian of the Straits and will remain so forever. And on sports updates, winger Moses Simon has supported coach Eric Chelle to remain in charge of the Super Eagles, commending the Malian tactician's leadership and the unity he has brought to the squad, amid reports that he is set for a contract extension. Coach Chelle, who was appointed on an initial 2-year deal, is currently in the second year of his contract, which is due to expire at the end of the year. However, the Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) and the National Sports Commission are reportedly finalizing a new agreement that will keep him in charge beyond his current deal. In another development, the Super Falcons players have begun arriving in Casablanca camp in Morocco in preparations for the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations (WAFCON). Their training program will provide head coach Justin Madugu and his technical crew with the opportunity to fine-tune tactics, improve team cohesion, and ensure the squad reaches peak physical condition before moving to Rabat for the tournament scheduled to hold from July 26 to August 16 in Morocco. And that is all we have for today's news. But before we go, let's take a recap of the major headlines. President Tinubu says late Buhari's legacy of integrity service will motivate generations. Court of Appeal upholds judgment restraining INEC from recognizing MARC-led ADC congresses. Troops of Operation Enduring Peace arrest arms trafficking syndicates, recovers rifle in Kaduna. And on international scene, U.S. military threatens to resume Iran port blockade Tuesday. And on sports updates, Super Eagles winger louds Chile contract extension as Falcons arrive camp ahead of WAFCON. On behalf of the news editor, Ilya Adama Auta, and the production team, I still remain Rahama Ibrahim Dusara. Do have a nice day and keep watching Standard Voice Television.